Hi, and welcome to this week's mini pick a card reading. So what I do with the mini pick a card readings is that we have a lot more options to choose from, but they go a little bit more quickly. And of course, I use mini decks in order to do the readings. So today's topic is, how does he or she truly feel about me? Okay, so we're looking deep down at what is at the core of this relationship, okay? And hopefully this can give you some tools to figure out basically not only what you're doing right, but also finding opportunities to take advantage of boosting the relationship, maybe where it's lacking. We'll have to see what's under the cards, okay? So the decks that I used for this one is the mini Universal Rider-Waite Tarot. We've got Under the Roses, Lenormand. That's the top card here. And then we have the answer deck, okay? So that said, let me go ahead and name the piles. Pile number 1 is the green. Pile number 2 is the dark blue. Pile number 3 is the red. Pile number 4 is the white. Pile number 5 is the pink. Pile number 6 is clear. Pile number 7 is the light blue. Pile number 8 is the brown. Pile number 9 is the black. And pile number 10 is the purple. All right, so while you guys are picking your pile, I just want to go ahead and say, as always, anything that you need to know about me is going to be down below in that description, okay? And that's going to include how to book a reading with me, if you need a private reading, and how to contact me. There is a donation link. There's actually 2 of them. Everything that's donated goes back to the channel. The Amazon wish list down there, it just has items that I was going to buy anyway for the channel, okay? And, you know, all of that good stuff. So, for those of you who have not picked your pile, go ahead and pause the video. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and start with pile number 1. Alrighty, so I'm going to move some of these out of the way so I'll have enough room to read each pile so you guys can see everything real well. Okay. Hi, pile number 1. Those of you who picked the green, here is your answer. How do they truly feel about you, okay? All right, so we have the 9 of Cups here, yeah. We have the 7 of Swords, and we have the Sun, okay? We do have bad news, and we have Justice, okay? And then we have the Dog. Okay, so let me go ahead and think about this, because here we have a couple of here we have some cards that are kind of in conflict, but I mean, I see the story that's emerging. For those of you who are involved with somebody who's married, this is actually a very positive reading. For those of you who are not involved with somebody who's married, for somebody, you know, someone who's involved with just another person, you know, maybe you're dating, you know, and all of that, this is a little bit less positive, okay? So I do want to say that. One thing here that we have is we've got the Sun and we have the 9 of Cups. That's great because it shows wish fulfillment and happiness. So your person likes this relationship. Whatever's going on in this relationship, it's working for them. They don't feel like there's anything that they need, anything extra or anything like that. So if you guys are on more of a friendship level, or if you guys are on a level where maybe you'd like more commitment, that kind of stuff, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Okay, you know, at least I'm not getting any indication. They are loyal to you though, okay? They're not going anywhere, all right? So if you do want more commitment with this particular person, just know you'll have a lot of time to work that part out. We do have the 7 of Swords, and usually this card right here, you notice how this person has gone into the enemy camp, and he's like gleefully stealing the weapons, right? So that's why I said, if you're involved with somebody who's married, this is much more positive reading for you. It's very, very unlikely, statistically, for people to actually leave their marriages if they start an affair with somebody, okay? Usually what happens is that a person will leave their marriage and then they will start a relationship with somebody that they've been interested in, but they just haven't ever gotten to explore that relationship, stuff like that. Or somebody will be, in their marriage and, need some time, that kind of thing. It depends, it really, really depends. And don't take any of this as an absolute. It's just statistically what we see, okay? This is not intuitive. So I do want to mention that. In this particular case, though, we have, we've got the bad news and the justice here, right here. I feel like what this is saying is that if you are involved with somebody who is currently married, they will get, they are going to be going to court, they are going to be getting a divorce, but it's not going to go the way that they want. Okay, so do keep that in mind. So when, let's go back to the question, how does he or she truly feel about me? So if your person has not given you any indication that that they're even thinking about a divorce, and your person's married, they are thinking about one, okay? And they're not looking forward to telling their spouse about that, okay? They're really not looking forward to telling it, but it's like they've already made the decision that they're gonna do that because they have loyalty to you, all right? Now, for those of you who don't, have, you're not in a relationship with somebody who's married. And now this can also confirm that your person's going through the divorce process. If you're, if you're with somebody who is getting a divorce, this just confirms that, yeah, that's the person. For those of you who aren't with somebody who's married, it's a slightly different, it's a slightly different interpretation. It's just that be aware that there's some deceit going on here and that needs to be straightened out, or else this is going to end up not going where you want. And it'll end up more in a friendship. However, what you guys have going for you, and this is everybody, 100% of you guys that pick this pile, is that you've got the pure happiness, you've got the emotional fulfillment. You guys can really build off of that, okay? So in order to make certain that this is as smooth as possible, just talk about, hey, you know what, I want to be really honest with you, and then tell them something about what you're thinking or feeling, or maybe something that you have been thinking about that you just haven't shared. It doesn't even matter if it's, a big deal or not. It's just let them know that you're open, and they'll feel like being more open with you, okay? I do want to mention, because I could see how some of you might interpret it that way, this doesn't mean that they're cheating on you. If they are, I'm not getting any indication, okay? So I'm not saying that your person is not cheating on you, period. I'm just saying that this particular card for me doesn't indicate that they're cheating, okay? So I do want to make sure that you guys know that. As always, ultimately, trust your own intuition about your situation. But this looks, it really looks positive, okay, on this end. Play this stuff up, because this person is very happy in the relationship. Alrighty. Okay, hi. Those of you who picked the dark blue, here is your reading. We have the Star, we have Justice, we have the Knight of Cups. Oh no, we've got Heartbreak, we've got Victory, and then we've got the Sickle. Okay, so this is, and I do want to say this particular card, the Sickle, it's also called the Scythe. Some other people, most decks, it's a Scythe. It's the same thing, it's the same material, but that's, it's just called something different here. Okay, so here's what I'm getting, and it's very similar to what I got in the first pile. We've got both Heartbreak and Victory. I feel like your person, especially if this is somebody who's kind of pulled away, they're going to come back, okay? They're going to come back stronger. They just needed to get something else out of their way first. And it's like they didn't want to hurt you or anything like that. They didn't mean for anything to hurt you. It's just that they had to withdraw. They had to kind of get that. They had to feel settled, because like when they first met you, okay, they were feeling really vulnerable. They did have hope, they did have direction, but they were feeling really vulnerable, and that was just, they still had things to sort out, okay? So they went into this kind of more withdrawn, more objective point of view where they're really looking at their feelings, or really, they're really trying to get a clear, certain idea about how they're feeling, and now they're ready to offer something to you, okay? So how your person's truly feeling is that they were scared, and now they're getting ready, okay? And by now I mean within the next, I would say 3 to 5 weeks, okay? That's timeless. It doesn't matter when you watch this. Whenever you watch this, it'll be within the next 3 to 5 weeks, this person's going to make some kind of gesture. It might be quicker for some of you guys, but at least within 3 to 5 weeks. So that's why we have the heartbreak come up right with victory. As that, this person probably hurt you, okay? Or maybe you hurt them, but this person probably hurt you, and so understand that whatever withdrawal that they went through, where they had to figure that stuff out, it was just so they could be certain, okay? And so they were able to cut that out. Do you see how this has a rose on it? And this is a picture of somebody cutting out the rose, right? So we've got the heartbreak card, and then we've got the scythe card, talking about how they're cutting out the heartbreak and they're leaving room for the victory. Okay, so your person is good. I would not even say that they're conflicted. I would just say that they were conflicted. They were feeling a little bit, confused, and they did need to take a step back and try to figure out what was going on. But now they're fine. You're fine. Expect that. Some kind of gesture. They're coming back. Expect that, and you'll be feeling really good about that. One more thing that I want to say, though, is if you are waiting around and after 5 weeks they're not there, I would suggest either making a move yourself or just writing it off, because the last thing I want is for anybody, any viewer or any of my clients to sit around waiting for something that's not going to happen. Okay, every indication from this is letting me know that it is going to happen, though. Okay, so I do want to be clear about that. All right, guys. Okay. All right. Hi, those of you who picked pile number 3, the red. Here is your reading. So this is how your person's truly feeling, okay? They're truly feeling a little bit like under a little bit of financial strain. I would actually even say that instead of just financial strain, I would say that it's more like their resources in general. Maybe they don't feel like they have as much energy for this relationship as they would like, or maybe they feel like they can't give any more to this relationship than they, than maybe you'd like for them to, and they're trying to figure that out. But they do care about you very, very much. We've got the Page of Cups. This person, in the background, we've got the water. It's very still. There's not turbulence in the water. Maybe this person is a little awkward with the way that they show their feeling. They've got that fish in the cup instead of water, which is kind of cute. But I mean, this person does genuinely care about you. Okay, they are seriously crushing, or they really do care about you. Okay, there's no problem there. And again, with the Four of Swords, we've got the withdrawal. This can also talk about like they need a rest, so especially if your person is feeling particularly drained right now, like they don't have the resources, and they're feeling kind of stressed, just know that any kind of withdrawal from that point of view that's fine. They just need their space for a little while. Okay, that's not unusual. This is the main card. My dog is barking. It's funny. My dog's actually afraid of boxes, okay? So the delivery people come here and they deliver boxes, and she's afraid of the boxes. So she barks at the delivery people for bringing these like horrible boxes for her. It's really funny. Anyway, so we've got that, right? Okay, this person's not going anywhere. Okay, they feel a very, very deep connection with you. They are loyal to you. This person will help you out at any time you need them. Okay. This person is a very, very good friend to you. They're just having a little bit of doubt, okay? And that's just because they don't know how much they can put into this relationship, okay? The bottom line, though, is that we have the fish, and the fish always talks about abundance. So when we start out with feeling like there's kind of a lack of resources, and then we end with abundance, that lets me know that the general direction of this relationship is going towards this person feeling like they do have enough. What you can do to help that is to make sure that you're telling them, hey, you're doing a good job. Make sure that when you come to them and you're like, hey, why didn't you do this, or something like that, when you're being, let's just call it critical, basically outlining your boundaries. Now that's healthy. You need to do that. I'm not saying not to do that, but when you do it, make certain that you're not letting them think that they're bad, just that you don't like what they're doing. So, one thing, and it's just a really good, easy example, quick example is, for example, instead of saying, hey, why didn't you call me back? Instead say, oh, I really, thanks for calling me. Like when they do call, thanks for calling me. It's really good to hear from you. Or, if you still want to address it, but you don't want to put them on the defensive, you can say, hey, I was really concerned about you because I didn't hear from you. Are you okay? Because then you're not coming, they know that you're coming from a place where you're concerned, not you're angry or you're upset with them or whatever. And if you do want to express anger or upset, just let them know you were disappointed that you didn't hear from them. That's it. I was just really disappointed. It felt disappointing that I didn't hear from you, and that's it. Just, because what you're conveying with that was, I was disappointed because I like hearing from you. Okay. So you're giving them instructions on how to do it. But when you say something like, why didn't you call? You're not saying, I wanted you to call. You're just saying, why did you not do it? And like, it's kind of critical. It's kind of accusatory. It's very subtle, but it does work that way. So I just, I wanted to throw that in because I feel like, as somebody who needs a little bit more confidence, might need a little bit more gentle persuasion, just so you know, I'm one of those people that's like, why didn't you call? So I get it. Hi, pile number 4. Those of you who picked the white, here is your reading. Okay, so your person's feeling pretty good about this situation. We've got the 8 of Pentacles. We've got the Lovers. We've got also the 8 of Cups. We have a Storm. Okay, and we have Secrets, and we have the Moon. Okay. All right. For those of you who know the Lenormand, understand that I'm reading this intuitively. Because I know that the moon typically means something, but I'm getting something else for what I should say about that. Okay, so here's the deal. Even if you've had some kind of emotional, like, nastiness recently with your person, and maybe they needed to walk away from something, or maybe they need to get rid of some kind of emotional, it could even be like something from without the relationship, like a person who is trying to interfere, or a situation. But what it is they're like walking away from drama. They don't want any more drama, or they don't want any more turbulence, so much turbulence in the relationship with you. But they're willing to work at it, okay? So, for example, if this person got into some kind of argument with you, and then they're like, okay, I don't want this to happen again, they mean it. They really will work, because we've got the eight of Pentacles here. This person's a hard worker, and they definitely want this to work because they see you as their divine counterpart. They really, really care about you. This person's in love with you, okay? This person is holding back a little bit, though, with their emotions, okay? So what they're really feeling is that they're really feeling in love with you. They're really feeling like they want to be better for you. And they're really feeling like maybe they should kind of hold back on their emotions because they don't want to appear like they're freaking out, okay? One thing that's great is with the Moon card, we do have... a kind of a doubling down with, yeah, their emotions aren't shining through completely, but they are there. So just give it a little bit of time, and that will come out a lot, a lot more clearly. But this person is in love with you. If you hear that and you're like, I don't know that though. It's like, it's just because, they are trying to hide it right now. They're not trying to be, they don't want to, they really just, what I keep getting is unhinged. They just don't want to look unhinged when they're around you. Okay. So, that's where the moon and the secrets come from. I'm not getting any deceptive vibe here. We're getting very, very clear, open person. In fact, how they truly feel about you is generally what they're going to be saying. They'll try to kind of dumb it down a little bit because they don't want to come off as too, again, too emotional. But I mean, this person's pretty much saying what they're feeling anyway, okay? So you have a pretty good grip on the situation anyway, all right? Okay. All right, hi guys. Those of you who picked pile number 5, the pink. Here's how your person is truly feeling. Okay, so we have the Page of Wands, all right? We've got the 4 of Cups. We have the 7 of Wands. We have home. We have communication and the owls. What's really interesting about both communication and owls is that they both stand for communication. That's really, it's really interesting. In a traditional Lenormand, this is going to be named the birds, okay? And you'll notice that birds, they sing a lot, they chatter with one another, they all hang out on on a wire here. They start talking and communicating and all sorts of stuff like that. And so what's going on here is this person wants to communicate with you more. Okay, they want to be in touch with you. If you haven't heard from this person for a while, you will hear from them very, very soon. I would say within the next 2 weeks at the most. That's regardless of when you watch this. I also want to mention that, sorry. I do want to mention though that this person's not quite certain how you feel about them. And so it's kind of interesting when we're looking, well, how does he or she truly feel? Well, how they really feel is that they feel really impassioned. They're very attracted to you, probably sexually attracted to you as well. But they're not certain how you feel. They're trying to figure that out, and until then, their defenses are gonna be up. They're feeling defensive, but they are feeling passionate as well. They're feeling very fired up. Okay, we've got the hearth representing the home, so that kind of reinforces that again. We have that fire with the Page of Wands and everything, but the home also talks about intimacy, so that kind of doubles down again on maybe any kind of sexual intimacy, but intimacy does not have to be sexual. It can be, just getting to know one another, sharing secrets with one another, sharing what makes us who we truly are on the inside, that private person that we don't show the whole world. And I have this idea, and I don't know if it's accurate or not, but I have this idea that most of my viewers are introverted. So I feel like that's kind of an interesting, it's almost an oxymoron to say that, because I think most of you guys share with your person more than what you would share with anybody else anyway. But I do want to, I just felt like it was important for me to mention that and acknowledge that. But yeah, we've got that. But this person wants to talk to you. That's the main thing. They want to talk to you. They want to share ideas with you. Okay. If you want to get any more information about this, I would just say look up information about the throat chakra. If you're interested in that, just be sure that the resources that you're looking at are at least somewhat reliable. Okay, make sure that you're reading things that are from reliable sources. But yeah, I mean this situation looks it looks positive. It just looks like there needs to be more communication so they know how you're feeling, so they can let their guard down and be like, okay, good, this person likes me, and so, you know, because they're feeling it. They want to be with you. Okay, so this is great. They're very attracted to you. They want to be with you. They're feeling good in their mind. They want to connect to you. They feel fiery and all of that great stuff. They just want to get that go ahead from you. Another behavior that your person might be doing also is kind of like testing out the waters. If you're wondering if they ask you kind of weird questions, like, well, who are you dating, or something like that, they're testing the waters out. They're trying to figure out, are you available or not? You know, that kind of thing. Alrighty. I'm gonna take a drink before I start the next reading. Alrighty. Hi, pile number 6. Those of you who picked the clear. Here is your reading. We've got the Hanged Man. We've got the Hierophant. We've got the Page of Pentacles. Okay, we've got Solitude. We have Good News, and we have, well, in this Lenormand deck, it's called the Grave, but it's usually the Coffin. Either way, it's just talking about some kind of ending. Okay. So, how your person really feels. Your person, it's interesting because it's like your person really wants to be able to reassure you and let you know how that everything's fine, but they're going through some stuff, okay? And how they're really feeling about you is that it's like they're feeling good, but they aren't really plugged into the relationship right now. Okay? Here's what I can tell you what they're gonna do. Okay, they're going to be in a more retreat place, and this doesn't even have to be for a really long time. You know, this could be just for a few days, but it's like they're gonna pull back. They're gonna be withdrawn a little bit like that. You're gonna find out that something ended in their life. Okay, it could be a literal death, but I don't feel like that's what it is. I feel like there's something. It came to an ending. And even though it's freeing up their time and everything, there's like a grieving process that has to do with that, okay? And that's probably why they're in this solitude, okay? With the Hanged Man, this is kind of reinforcing the solitude. Yes, it can talk about different perspectives, but in this particular spread, given the cards and context, this is talking about withdrawal, okay? So this person is, you know, again, they're in a really withdrawn state, and their mind is caught up with something else, okay? That does not mean that they don't care about you. It just means they're caught up with something else. Now, when they're thinking about the relationship itself, when they feel really good about it, okay? They appreciate the lifestyle that you live, you know. The Hierophant can stand for traditions, you know, and all of that kind of stuff, but it can also stand for just culture in general, okay? So I just feel like they appreciate where you're coming from, like whatever it is, you know, like maybe they think that you're really eccentric and they really appreciate that because it kind of livens up the relationship, or maybe that they find you very traditional and they really like that, you know. It's just whatever it is that you do, they like it, okay? And then we have the Page of Pentacles here. We do have a gesture coming from them. They do want this, okay? They want this to happen. They're just caught up right now thinking about something else, okay? Again, it doesn't necessarily have to be a literal loss. It could just be an ending to something. This is not an ending to a relationship. It's not an ending to you. It's an ending to something else, okay, that they're just preoccupied with. So when we look at the question again, how does he or she truly feel about me? What we're talking about, that he or she truly feels good about you, and they truly want to they truly want to be with you. They just have something else that they're working on right now, that's taking up their time, and it's an emotional priority. Sometimes we can't choose where our emotional focus is going to be, and it feels like this is like almost a spiritual thing that they have to work through first before they can get ready for this relationship. Unfortunately, I don't have a very strong sense of timing. in this particular situation for you guys, but I can say that they will get there. If they're not moving fast enough for you, I would suggest getting out of the relationship, or at least kind of sort of letting it go, because they're going to come back to you anyway when they're ready. But I could see how for some of you guys this could last a while, and for some of you it won't be as long, So I do want to mention that. But for those of you who, if you really care about this person, if you're really like in love with this person, stick it out. They're coming back. They're going to be fine. And then you can build intimacy over what's they're, dealing with right now. Okay. Alrighty. Hi, those of you who picked the 7th pile, the light blue, here is your reading. Okay, so we have a little bit of conflict, but really understand that this is a very, very, very positive reading. I just glanced at the cards, and it's like, okay, yeah. All right, so we've got the Page of Pentacles. If you feel like this relationship has been dragging its feet, it's about to pick up, okay? We're looking at how this person truly feels about you, though, okay? So let's focus on that question, okay? How they truly feel. They're in love with you, okay? This person's in love with you. They don't want to show it as openly as maybe you would like for them to, but they are in love with you, and I am getting that they just don't want to show it. They're a little bit nervous as part of it. Another thing is that there's some kind of situation here that they're frustrated with. Maybe they think that you're with somebody else, or maybe they're feeling like they're not good enough. They know that they want it. They know they're in love with you, but they are frustrated about something. This also comes up when there's sexual frustration. So that could be going on as well. But the bottom line is they're very emotional when it comes to you. They're very emotional and they want it to work, okay? We do have this kind of dark card called Hidden Enemy. I really, really feel like this is an aspect of your person's psyche that is like kind of telling them, giving them that negative feedback, that inner voice that's kind of like, maybe you're not good enough. Maybe they don't like you, or maybe you can't make this person happy, that kind of thing. Be aware to kind of give them some reassurance. And if you're frustrated, if you yourself are frustrated with the idea of how much reassurance you might feel like you have to give, just understand that's what this person needs right now. They're not always going to be like this. Well, that's what they need right now, okay? This is really more like their shadow self, This is the stuff that they don't want you to know this, okay? This stuff is they'd be so embarrassed if they realized that you knew that they're frustrated and they're feeling like lack of confidence about it and everything. They would be so embarrassed, but it's like this stuff is playing out in the background of their mind, okay? Even though they're totally in love with you, they want to make this happen, and they should be giving you positive cues. I would be very, very surprised if this person isn't. The moon does talk about like kind of holding back the emotions there, but it shouldn't. This person should want to be around you a lot, okay? Or at least want to talk to you a lot and that kind of stuff. We also have the clover, which is luck, okay? In love readings, the clover tends to stand for more like, you're turning towards a more up time in your relationship. But since we're looking at how does he or she truly feel about me, we're looking at how does this person feel about you? This person feels like they're so lucky to know you. They really do. They don't feel like there's anybody else that's even remotely like you out there, and they see you as their counterpart. So this is a really positive thing here for you, okay? So this is great. There's nothing for you to worry about here. Everybody has the darkness inside of them. You probably have something inside of you that maybe it's worry, maybe you get down on yourself, maybe some people are really perfectionistic and they have to do it right, and if they don't, then they get upset with themselves and everything. For me, sometimes I feel like I'm not good enough. I know that's not true, but I still feel that sometimes, and I have to tell myself, it's not true, and all of that. I have a big fear myself of that people are going to leave me. I don't know why, but I mean, well, actually I do. It's because when I was younger, a lot of people that were really close to me died, and I have this worry of abandonment because of that. It's not a parenting thing. Although I do have parenting issues too. I mean, my relationship with my own parents. I just mean that I can sometimes have abandonment issues, and so I can kind of come off as kind of clingy, So I basically what I'm trying to say, I'm not trying to give you my life story, but I'm trying to say is that we all have this, okay? So don't be nervous or worried because they have this going on. It's normal. This is completely psychologically appropriate. This is just how they're working through it, okay? All right. You guys actually have probably gotten one of the better readings, so you're good. Hi, pile number 8. Those of you who picked the brown. Here is your reading. Oh, this is very sweet. We have the 6 of Cups. We have Temperance. We have the King of Cups. We have Stop, Look, and Listen. We have Talent. And we have the Lilies. My goodness, why are you guys even watching this video? You already know. This person cares about you so much. They're probably in love with you. There is this kind of feeling like you guys might be moving a little too fast, or it's like the emotions have really picked up and they're really, really intense. That's okay. Be very aware of the pacing. This person's in love with you, though. They'll probably make some kind of gesture even this week of trying to show you how much they care about you. This person is a very balanced person, so they're also a positive person to have in your life. They're going to be a positive force in your life, not a negative force. They're not, at least from this point on, sometimes I get comments just like, well, my ex cheated on me and now I'm with them. It's like, well, I'm not talking about what happened before. I'm talking about from now on, This person has a good character, okay? A very, very good character. They might be a Sagittarius. I'm only throwing that out because this card is associated with Sagittarius. They don't have to be. You could be a Sagittarius, whatever. The King of Cups just shows a very, very mature feeling, very, very mature love. Love that is kind of tempered by wisdom. We've got temperance here. So yeah, we've got some really positive things here, okay? Again, the Stop, Look, and Listen is just basically not only pay attention to your own intuition on this, okay? So if there's anything that I'm saying, even in this reading, and like, yes, I'm actually going to tell you not to listen to me, because if there's anything that I'm saying in this reading that's not sounding right, this card's telling you, hey, you know what? Look at this stuff and put it in your own filter, intuit for yourself what this means, okay? Because maybe my interpretation of this isn't going to sit well with you, or it's not going to feel right. That's okay. Listen to your own intuition on this because you are being guided, okay? We do have Talent here, so your person is feeling like you're a muse for them. You inspire them, that kind of thing. Your person might be a musician or an artist or a writer or something like that. If they're not, that doesn't mean that this isn't for you. It's just that's what's coming out here. Basically, you inspire them to be a better person. You inspire them to create. Okay, and then we have the Lilies. The Lilies are famous for being symbolic of sex. It can also be symbolic of purity. So this purity could be just reinforcing that this person has a really good character, or the purity, or it could be just sex. This person feels a lot of sexual attraction for you as well. So going back to the question, how does he or she truly feel about you? This person's in love with you. They're in love with you. They're in love, and they're also in a really good place. They feel positive. They want to keep going. They want to move ahead. They see you as being the person they want to be with, So this is great. You're in a great place with this person. This is just saying to pay attention, you know. Doesn't say that there's any red flags. It just says pay attention. Your own intuition is telling you some things about this person as well. Alrighty. Hi, those of you who picked pile number 9, the black, here is your reading. We have the King of Pentacles, we have the Queen of Swords, and we have Judgment. All right. We also have Faith, we have Diligence, and we have the Mountain. Okay, this is a really interesting reading. Your person is so steadfast, okay? This person really believes in this relationship. They feel an emotional and might even feel a spiritual connection in this situation. The Judgment card for me is talking about being called to be in this relationship, okay? With the Queen of Swords energy, now this doesn't mean that your person's a female. It's just the Queen of Swords for me kind of represents the feminine aspect where there is a lot of emotions and receptivity, while it's also got that, you know, kind of sharp, very, very smart, you know, your person doesn't have to be a genius or anything, but just very cerebral, would probably be a better word. Very, very cerebral kind of person. So this person is probably somebody who is both emotionally mature and who thinks a lot. You know, this person might read a lot, for example, or they might know a lot of information. This would be, the kind of archetype would be kind of like a sage or a, like a, sorry, a sage, or like maybe a professor, you know, somebody who just takes, I mean, they're really interested in knowledge. They like learning. That's their thing. Okay. The King of Pentacles lets us know that they're pretty stable in the material world as well. Okay. So if this person isn't doing very well financially right now, they have a lot of tricks up their sleeve, okay? Or maybe their family has money or something like that. This person feels very secure in where they are financially, and they have plans and all of that kind of stuff. This person either is successful or they're going to be very successful in their life, okay? Again, this person has faith in this relationship. This person will stick it out, okay? This person's not going anywhere. They have their sights on you, and they've just decided that they're going to be with you. Now, people decide to be with people sometimes because maybe their intuition tells them to, or maybe they just really want you, that kind of thing. They see that there's some challenges here, though. They see that there's some things that are in their way in order to get to the point where they can be with you and be completely just be completely present with you. Okay, those obstacles might make some of this be a little bit cloudy for you. Okay, it may make some of this stuff that I've told you be a little bit like up in the air, because they're not going to tell you that they're, you know, they might, but most likely they're not going to tell you, oh, I'm so in love with you. I can't wait until I'm with you, and I want to be with you, and all of that. They're not going to say that if they think there's anything inappropriate about it, or if they think that it's not the right time. They have a great sense of timing when it comes to the relationship itself. And so basically this person is in it for the long run. They're not going to give up on this. They really care for you. I would say this person's in love with you, but it's like a slow burn love. It's like this person's not going to fall out of love with you. Like, that would be impossible kind of thing. If you are asking about a person that's been really persistent and you don't want this person to, I don't know, get the wrong idea, or you want this person to leave you alone, you've got to be very, very clear with this person about what your intentions are, and let them know that there's and it might be hard, but the best way to talk to somebody who is this determined to be with someone else is to say, look, there is no chance for us to ever be together. If you don't want this to happen, you need to say something like that. Don't even give them an opening, you know, because if they hear that there's a chance, you know, like, Like, there's no chance we would ever be together. We would have to be the last people in the world. You know, they'll still hear that, oh, we'd have to be the last person in the world, so they are attracted to me in some way, you know? I mean, this person is, because they're that steadfast about this relationship. This is the kind of person that has enough self-discipline that they would totally back off if they felt like that's what you wanted, okay? I feel like most of you guys who are asking, though, are asking about, you know, how does my person feel about me, because I don't know. And if you've got, like, maybe a friend or somebody who you've seen off and on or whatever, and you don't know how they're feeling, it's just they see some obstacles there, and they're not willing to, you know, I guess, show their whole hand until they are clear that the obstacles aren't there. Because, I mean, they're ready. They believe in it. They know they're going to end up with you. They feel pulled towards you. It's spiritual, emotional, and in intellectual, okay? And this person's not going anywhere, okay? So, I mean, you have got the whole package, you know? Only thing that comes through that's negative is this obstacle here. That's it. Obstacle. I just want to go ahead and say before I end this reading, the obstacle could be something as small as, you know, they need to finish up, I don't know, their paper that's due at the end of the week, okay? Or it could be something as big as maybe you're married or maybe they're married, okay? It could be something like, well, I want to finish grad school before I enter into a relationship because I know that I can't put as much focus on both things, that kind of thing. But this person, again, they feel very confident that this relationship is what's going to happen. Like, that's where they're going to end up. All right. Hi. I'm going to go ahead and take a sip of my water here. Alright, guys, those of you who picked the 10th pile, the purple, here's your reading. Okay. Alright. Okay, so the question is, how does he or she truly feel about me? Okay, they're not conflicted. I understand that we've got some kind of scary cards here. I'm holding them up because it's okay. You can look at these and it's okay. Your person's fine. They're just going through some negative self-talk. They might be really anxious, okay? That's okay because we have the victory card here, all right? They feel like they've hit the jackpot, okay, with you. They're like, with the sadness here, though, they feel as if they made some kind of mistake. Like, how could I have not, like if I had known that this person was going to be around, then I wouldn't have made some of the decisions that I made, that kind of thing. If I had known that I was going to meet this person, then, you know, I regret the way that I've lived my life for the past, I don't know, 5 months or something. You know, I'm just pretending. I'm not saying that this is exactly what your person feels, but that's the kind of energy that this card's putting off when you look at it for the whole thing. We have this kind of, it's weird because this usually talks about grief. But ultimately the 5s have to do with change, and they also have to do with, like kind of looking through time sometimes. And this particular one, what I'm getting from this right now is shame, okay? And I wouldn't be surprised if this person feels a little shameful because we've got the whip over here. I mean, like, look at this card. Wow, right? They might be ashamed that they have such strong sexual attraction towards you. They might be really ashamed of that. Maybe they're usually more in control. It doesn't necessarily, this can be a representation of sex, obviously, but it can also be a representation of how much they want you. They're not used to feeling this out of control. They're used to having things in control. And then they lose sleep over you. So this can stand for either fantasizing about you a lot, or more likely it has to do with sometimes they wake up in the middle of the night and they're like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? You know, like basically it's like they're looking at the worst possible scenarios late at night and worrying over them. They're anxious about that, okay? They want things to go right. So we've got this person who's in a lot of pain because since they've met you, things have been so great that they're like, what was I doing? What did I do? You know, they feel like it's almost like these people feel as if they failed before they've even tried. That doesn't mean that they're not going to do anything. It's just that they are just feeling a little like overwhelmed right now. Okay. The Fool is a really great way to look at it too, because it's like they feel like, gosh, I was so stupid when one of the things that I'm getting from this, I just have to interrupt myself to say this, is I'm getting like the idea of a person who maybe made a hasty decision, like maybe they got married with the first person that came along. And then after a couple of years of marriage, you know, they're doing fine. They're totally settled in. They've got, you know, a comfortable life and everything. They meet you and it's like, oh my gosh, what did I do? I was so dumb. You know, that kind of thing. That's the kind of feeling that I get about this. Something like that, okay? Just like they totally didn't expect you. You're totally unexpected, but you're exactly what they want. Exactly. So much what they want is they can't even think right now because they want you so bad. And again, it's not just like a sexual desire, although that's definitely here. It's coming up very clearly to me. But it's also just, they want to be with you. It hurts to not be with you, okay? If they're not around you, it's hurting them, okay? So yeah, they feel really dumb. They really do. They feel really dumb because this is how they would feel if they had made different decisions, okay? They also feel like there's something about you that's too good for them. Like, that you're in like a better, like an upper class than them, or you're like too good to be true, or maybe like, you know, you are too amazing to be interested in me. Like you totally, like this is the kind of person that would be like, oh my gosh, you're gonna think that I'm such an idiot when we finally meet in person. Like if you've been talking on the phone a lot, you know, that kind of thing. It's like they feel like they're not good enough. I mean, they really do. They need to work through this in order to get to a point where they're feeling more secure. But the amount of desire that they're feeling is going to totally override anything else. This person is usually in control of their thoughts and their feelings and all of that kind of stuff. But right now, they're really thrown off kilter. They're really off balance. I'm not saying that they're going to fall down. They're going to right themselves, yes. But once they right themselves, they're going to know that the only way to avoid being off balance again is by going for it, okay? So this person is on their way to being with you, okay? So let's look at the question. How does he or she truly feel about you? They truly feel scared. They truly feel like you're totally better than them. There's no way that you know, they almost feel like you must be under some kind of spell to like them, and that you're gonna find out something fundamental about them and be like totally like, no, I can't handle that kind of thing. This person might be the kind of person that just has a guilty conscience, not that they have done anything wrong, but just they feel like there's maybe something wrong with them. Sometimes this shows up in people who have had maybe abusive parents, that kind of thing. And then, you know, they feel kind of dumb, you know. Maybe they're very socially awkward. That's another thing that this can represent. But ultimately, they feel like they've hit the jackpot with you. You are everything that they've wanted, probably more. You know, they didn't think that they could ever meet anybody like you at all, and they want you very, very badly. You know, for those of you who are looking for, you know, a hard emotion, this person is either in love with you or they're falling in love with you. Okay, guys? All right, so that's exciting. Alrighty, so thank you guys so much for staying to the end of this video. I really appreciate it. Apologize that this is going up on Thursday rather than Wednesday. I do live in the central part of the United States, and so we have been dealing with tornadoes and floods for a while. Last night was particularly bad, so I wasn't able to record yesterday because there was just way too much time spent in our tornado shelter and everything like that. And I don't know if you noticed, but my allergies are kind of kicking up because, you know, it's been raining and all of that, you know, pollen and mold is being stirred around, right? Which is fun, not really fun. But I do want to say to anticipate another video that I'll be putting out today. As always, thank you guys so much for watching my videos. Thank you for all the feedback that you give me. Everything that you guys, you know, tell me, that, you know, a suggestion or feedback or anything, every like, a subscribe, every comment, it's like, I read them. I don't have enough time to reply to all of them, but Shannon, my partner, my business partner, he will make certain that I see what I need to. He makes, we've got a list of, you know, requests for pick a card readings, and he puts them there. So he will make sure that I see and respond to what I need to. And, for those of you, yeah, for those of you who haven't gotten your private reading yet and it's late, I couldn't record yesterday, but I'm anticipating doing a bunch of recording today. So let's hope that we get yours to you today. If not today, it'll be by tomorrow, okay? All right. So that said, I will see you in my next pick a card video.